Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. Look at that, we stayed at rank 40 despite, I think? Oh no, that's right, we won the last game, yeah. That was against Scabe. Let's see what Scabe's up to. Playing against Flabbergast. I do like saying that name, it's very, oh, no, this game is over. Yikes. Yikes, Aruni. Alright, so I bet we get matched with one of those two soon, but let's hop into Unknown versus Zaren Force just in case. Base plus 5. I guess we're going for Colossus? That seems fine. Maybe you could get us in Estra first? Because you want... I don't know. For Aegis, you want a lot of green, obviously. And I think you should get Aegis at some point. Alright, we have Scabe again. Anyway, sorry if I offended you by saying you're as mighty as a Droneless Windsor last game. What's the deal here? Base plus 8, 60 seconds. Let's just Hannibal rush him again, right? I don't think so. Odin with Auric is pretty dang cool. What else would you get? I mean, it's gonna kind of suck to be on 3 blue. But I don't know. The other thing you could do is like, oh man, opponent can open D2. Hannibal rush me. Get revenge. I think that might be pretty good. I mean, I don't have a line other than DD, I don't think. I could D1 and like, but I don't guarantee that I'm floating energy next turn. Oh man, what about if they just open 1-2? That's maybe even better than D2? Yeah, it must be, right? It's strictly better. Why would you think about opening double Auric? What's that about? I really want Odin, but I'm afraid of Hannibals. I just think with Auric Impulse, like, this is actually pretty defensible. The main issue is going to be if opponent... I don't know, what would they do? 1-1-2? I don't know. Against that, I guess I just have to say, go ahead, have an NG or two. I think they're gonna try something fast. I don't know exactly what it is. Yeah. Honestly, might as well both be Orcs, I think. Okay, so I could do this, and like, I could get a wall, Tarsier. I don't even really want the Tarsier. I just want this as like a slightly cheaper Blast Forge. So I could like wall drone from this perspective, at which point I'm guaranteed floating of energy, so I should get this. Like, I don't want to invest in a whole forge, and this way, like, I'll have some red later, which will be nice to get the occasional bull. Yeah, I don't know. Opponent might think that I'm responding with bowls, but I'm not. I still really want that Odin. I think they'll have trouble building enough Hannibals to be good against that. So suppose I tried to get an Odin, right? Next turn I can BBD. So I might as well do this instead. Yeah, and then I can get the Odin when the Chrono Filter comes back around. And 7 damage is perfect against Hannibals, right? That's the idea. It's kind of like too much tech for 12 drones, but I think that's fine. What is this? I just think Odin is such a great way to deal with the Hannibals that I'm okay with the fact that I'll be over-teched. Actually, maybe opponents should Odin now? What am I thinking? They should. They should get BB. They're in a great position. They would, like, deny my Odin. I think I would instantly lose the game. Well, maybe they can't afford it. Maybe they don't have enough money. I'm not sure. Like, what are they gonna do now? Bowl Gauss Cannon? Like, I'm okay against that. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Well, I'll be floating energy next turn, guaranteed, right? So these should all be Oryx. Now I can actually Odin Tarsier, which is pretty great, actually, I think. Or maybe Odin Botch? No, I want the Tarsier. And look at that, I have 12 bucks for 2 splitters. Amazing. If that's what I want, which I don't think it is. Oh, maybe it is. Opponent won't have another bowl, so that's probably fine. It's not like 7 damage is an important bullseye for me to hit. The Rutherford is kind of interesting. 4, 5, 9 damage. Are you not gonna have trouble, like, getting the Odin? Or Odin double force field doesn't defend, so you need to, like, hold a drone as well? I think this is a fine Odin click. It kills like force field NG drone. Keeps the pressure on. I don't think they can really click the Odin, so I'm losing like 2 NGs here. It's fine. Oh, very exploitable here. If I attack for, what, 7? Problem is I can't do that without clicking Odin, which kind of sucks. Like, if I click Odin... Well, 5's actually okay. Like, I mean, suppose I clicked Odin. Like, there's not much I can hold back productively, right? So, I don't think I should do that. You should buy 2 force fields this turn. And symmetrically, I should deny them. I don't have any Reservoir emotes. Yeah, oops is right, huh? No, this is way too easy to exploit. I attack with everything into this, and then they either lose a force field or get like, if they want to avoid getting exploited, they have to, like, lose force field to keep wall, which is kind of bad. Alright, that's cool. They do get a good splitter hold there. The free splitter hold against me was productive for them. So say I attack for everything, they get to keep, what, 6 alive? That's all the force field, so they lose a splitter. Suppose I held back a botch. Now they get to keep 7 alive, which they can only do if they're willing to lose a force field. Right, that would be keeping wall, force field alive. But I can't really do anything useful with this tempo, so I don't think I'll take it. Well, I mean, I guess I could, right? I could do this. I don't think that's so great. Do I need this NG? It's probably good. Low econ Odin games are weird. They mostly arise from Auric Impulse. Speaking of which, I bought 8 of them. What a cool game. Any game where you buy 8 Auric Impulses is a good game in my books. Here they get to keep 5 health alive. That's only 2 force fields, so they're losing 2 attack. So this is 10, which I'm perfectly fine with. And I still think a bowl is not very good. Well, actually, it maybe is. Because if they lose 2 of these, they're down to just like 6 attack without clicking Odin, and with clicking Odin, they're at like 10, which is also fine. And it's hard for them to add much more attack without losing any in the process. So I think this bowl will do quite well, actually. Just double check, they're keeping 5 health and absorbing on Odin, which means 2 force fields and energies. They lose 2, they have 10. This is fine. They have a free splitter hold against that, I guess? Not much I can do about it, I think. And actually they'll be holding Odin as well, so they're actually just attacking for 4, which is... They have 3 free splitter holds in that. No, they're attacking for 6, which they don't really have any good holds against, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure. Whoops. Holding nothing is an exploit. Got me. So right now they keep 2 force fields. So this is killing, like, NG force field. Yeah, clearly a good click. And they have 10 attack then, which is like Bull, NG, Wall. Or... yeah, they can't kill it without clicking Odin. That's great news. So they have to click the Odin, and like then they're basically dead, right? When they click the Odin, they attack for 9, because they're holding back Botch. 7 and 2, so they'll hold back both splitters as well. So all I'm losing here is Bull. I think I'm fine with this. I'd like to be able to get another Bull next turn, but it's going to be kind of tough. I think I'll just get another splitter. I mean, these splitter holds are not like they're doing something, right? This is they're upgrading splitters into urban sentries this turn and letting them lose them as walls to like keep the force fields alive, and you know that's better. But they're not happy about it. I think I do click the Odin again. 9 damage, 2. They're absorbing on splitter 4. They have to find 5 more. That's wall and 1 attacker. So they're losing 1 attack here. So this is fine. And then they basically just crumble under this. I mean, they've been crumbling for a long time, but I think this Hannibal sort of sends the message home. They're never going to kill another unit again. I don't know, maybe they are. Because like Odin Splitter is, yeah, I mean, okay. They get to keep 3 health alive here, which is presumably going to be 1 force field. Say 1. And Odin is 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they can kill the bull exactly here, which is kind of cool for them. But not winning by any means. Oh, or if you do that, you can't even kill the bull. I wonder what the stats are weird. That's what I can say. Yeah, spikes everywhere from like Odin clicks and Auric purchases. So I do think I would have had a lot of trouble with D2 as an opening, or 1-2 even, which I think is clearly better. Opponent bull rushed, but actually I think too late. Like what does that look like? Let's analyze it since we have the time now, or rather we can easily control both players. Oh, D2 does not work. I thought it did. Maybe it's a player 1 thing to go like this? And then alternate between bulls and not bulls? But okay, let's say I did this, right? An opponent actually gets this bull. What am I doing about it? Like, I can wall. But I don't think I can ever build up to Odin this way, right? That seems pretty clear. So I'm sort of just like getting down in the mud with my opponent here. Why did I think an Auric was a good idea? It was clearly not a good idea. I was thinking because I was going to buy another bull or something, but I'm not. I was thinking I was going to build a wall, which is like wrong for a million reasons. So opponent will build a bowl next turn. They're threatening 4. Against which I don't really need an Engie, but... Actually, I want a bowl next turn, right? So I guess I do this. This is such a weird one. Huh. My opponent does this, and then... They have to get some more attack in a hurry, kind of? Next turn they can add 2, but they need more tech to add more. This is Bowl Gauss Cannon? Which is pretty disastrous for me, isn't it? I don't even know what I would do against this. Ugh. Right, they get this, and then, like, oh my god. I'm never gonna get to 7 attack, right? I mean, I don't know. It's a bit hard for them to click all their bowls, but I think they clearly need to do it. So I guess that tells me that I should be maybe thinking about attacking this turn. Like this. Makes it hard for them to click all the bowls, but they can build a force field, and I'm only attacking for 4, so they don't lose any drones. And then they can go back to holding bowls and like, ugh. And this botch would really suck at that point. Like, it basically just kills an engineer, ever. So I guess a Tarsier is better in that case. Maybe this Gauss Cannon's pretty questionable too. It helps me get to having some attack, I guess. Opponent does this. Force fields. And then they're just like super, super fine. Right? Maybe? Buy another bowl here, right? I click this because I have little choice. Oh my god, I actually can't even click it. That's the worst. I can't get the Odin even if I could somehow defend it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is the direction the game should have gone in. But maybe it doesn't actually work for opponent and they were right to avoid it. It just feels really hard for me to deal with. Maybe I just do this, basically, and say, okay, build all the bowls you want. I'll get up to 7 eventually, and I can handle your onslaught until then. But can I? I mean, a bowl's good now. I need the soak. But I don't need the soak. I need damage. I need to get to 7. Right, like, isn't this horrible? Doesn't feel very good. Okay, I'm at 5 now. And if I ever do get to 7, I'm only killing 1 bowl and they're like adding more attackers? I don't know, guys. And they get like this. And I'm just like crying. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't ever get to 7. It's too much. So anyway, that's why I thought that, like, this Bull Rush from opponent would be good. But okay, they didn't do that. Let's look at what actually happened in the game. Or they did Bull Rush, but not fast enough. By this time, I had enough econ. Well, I don't know. Maybe in the other line I was too aggressive and, like, didn't build towards Odin. Maybe I could have still tried it, but I don't know. Having to do everything a turn sooner is really sad. Here, the Odin let me, like... What? Now that opponent has built the Odin, what is the position? You know, what am I ahead in? What am I behind in? I'm ahead in attacker. I'm down a drone. But more importantly, I'm up half a turn. Right? I got everything sooner. And I'm able to use that to buy, like, more impactful stuff. Opponent also got this very questionable Reservoir. I don't think they did a good job with their... I don't think buying green was a worthwhile investment. Why did they buy green so early anyway? Maybe to smooth out the chrono filter turns a bit? But then they went and bought a Reservoir with it, which I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe the problem was they just couldn't get Odin soon enough and they wanted to do something with the red that wasn't a Tarsier. I think a Tarsier would have been fine, though. I think if you wanted the Reservoir plan, you had to skip Odin. And just buy Hannibals for Soak. But that's going to be pretty sad against my Odin, right? I can quite comfortably deal exactly 7 damage and still do useful stuff with the rest of my turn. Huh. This Odin got a lot of clicks in. Did I ever hold Odin? Yeah. Here. Here I held Odin because he would have just killed a wall. Yeah. And I mean, okay, they would have done a bit better if they had gotten force fields on the turn they were supposed to, but it's actually kind of hard to do that. Like, they barely defended. I guess they could have cut the Auric and built 2 force fields, but I mean, it's only 2, right? Yeah. Alright, well, I don't know. Not a lot to say about the tactics in this game, I think. Having, this is sort of like the tactics turn of, like, get an Odin. It looks like strategy because I'm, like, buying a bunch of tech, but it's not. It's like, I don't know. My strategy was to get an Odin when I could. And this was spotting a tactical opportunity. Well, actually, I guess this is like the thing I always say about Oryx, right? Is like buying a drone when you plan to float energy next turn means you should have built Auric instead. And here I saw like, okay, well, you know, I went DDE because I think Odin's the right thing to do, knowing that if opponent cuts for Chrono, the engineer will be bad. But I think if they do that, like, I'm winning, which is why I decided to allow them this play of making my engineer bad. And having done so, it's like, okay, well, you know, I have a lot of energy, so I can afford Oryx for flexibility, right? And I like to plan my turns out as if I would be buying drones, and then go back and convert the drones to Oryx, if I can see that I won't want to necessarily keep them. And so, like, this is sort of the obvious play on this turn if you didn't have Auric. You get up to 14 drones, right? Seems fine. But actually, if I do that, like, I can't get the Odin. I didn't see that coming, but I just, like, used my rules of thumb, right? Because the problem is, to get the Odin, I have to sell back so many drones that I'm down at 12, right? How could you have this turn if you had bought 14 drones earlier? You can't, right? Did I see this turn 6 coming? No, I didn't. I saw some turn coming in which I would use Oryx to get an Odin, and I assumed it would be turn 6 based on, like, that's when the chrono filter lines up next, and I talked about that. But I didn't know how many drones I'd be selling back, or like the exact details of how much money I'd have. I just like looked at this and said, look, I have 21 next turn, which means I could buy Odin if I had the tech. Obviously I can't, but I know I'll be able to get to at least 20 even after buying 2 forges, because that only costs 10 drones and I have 14 right now, right? So I knew I could get the Odin, and that opponent couldn't add any attack to cause me trouble. So it was like, I didn't plan out the exact play, but I saw the idea coming, and you know, you have to get these Oryx to make that kind of play possible. So that's the kind of thing to pay attention to. It doesn't look like 12 is the number of drones you want to stop at when you're buying Odin, right? But actually it kind of was. And just applying the simple Oryx rule of thumb gets you there, so I don't know. I think I talked too much about like how I play Auric, but I think it's great and more people should do it. And some people do and some people don't. So if you're watching, you should be a person who does. That's my opinion. You discover cool plays like triple Auric into Odin without like really having to do any thinking. He just like sort of falls into your lap once you think of Auric that way. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.